Hey YouTube, RyeRye here. I'm going to do a little collaborative effort here with my buddy NightFury, who also has some stuff recorded on his channel. We're going to start our own little Battlefield vlogcast kind of podcast thing, where each week we get together, talk about things we like and dislike about Battlefield 4, stuff that's new, stuff in the news, stuff we see on the forums, discussion points, and just kind of have some fun with it. It's going to be mostly console-centric since we both play on the Xbox 360. So it'll kind of be focused around that. But we went ahead and recorded just a dry run. This is the first episode of it. Look for more episodes to come each week. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Do you have any idea what we want to name this?
That's what I was thinking. So we can actually keep this part in here. Kind of getting a name. Maybe we can actually get our YouTube viewers to help us out with a name.
Yeah, that'd be good. So if anybody wants to send comments down below, either on my channel is YouTube/gaming, or I'm sorry, YouTube/RyeRye Gaming. And what's yours, NightFury?
Mine is NightFury25 Gaming on YouTube.
So just go to YouTube, look us both up. This is going to be posted on both of our channels. The difference is that we are going to have different kind of gameplay videos. Sometimes it'll be of us playing a game together. You'll see my video on my channel, NightFury's video on his channel, and vice versa. We'll mix it up. We plan on doing a bunch of different things with it in the coming weeks. We're going to try to get this to be a weekly series where we just kind of discuss Battlefield, in particular Battlefield for console gamers. It's something we want to do for console-specific gamers, much like how we are. We don't really play many PC games. I know I play a few games on PC, but not really into playing PC shooters. I'm not a keyboard mouse guy. I like sitting in front of my big screen, in my nice big comfy chair and sitting there with a controller in my hands, as many I know friends do. I know you as well, NightFury, you do that as well. So that's kind of the focus of our channel here. We're going to give you tips, news, thoughts on the game, thoughts on DLC coming out, tactics to make you a better console player, things we notice in the game, and just basically kind of make it a Battlefield channel for console gamers. That's kind of what we're doing here. First of all, I just tell about myself. I started playing Battlefield originally on the Xbox, the original Xbox, in Battlefield Modern Combat. That was my first real exposure to it. I had heard about Battlefield before, never really had a PC able to run the game, so I never really got into it, and just picked up Modern Combat on a whim one day and fell in love with it. I love the tanks, the vehicle play, the bigger maps. It was everything I wanted in an online game, and thus I've been a Battlefield fan ever since. What about you, Fury? What was your first Battlefield experience?
It was actually Modern Combat, but it was on 360. So
cool. Yeah, I did the same thing. That was one of my first 360 games because I remember it came out late in the Xbox's cycle, and that was the last game I really was playing on the original Xbox. And then when I transitioned into the 360, one of the first games I got was Battlefield Modern Combat on the 360. And then, of course, you have the Bad Company series, and the rest is history, as they say. So we're going to go over some news here and some of our thoughts on the game. We're going to give on the launch some of the issues we've all know that the game has had at launch, and kind of give our 2 cents on it, and just kind of rap about Battlefield 4 for a little bit. So the first thing I'd like to go over is we know there's been some issues with the crashes in Battlefield 4, both on PC and on the consoles. We've all experienced them. We've all seen them. The thing I've noticed is that DICE has been working diligently at fixing these issues up until as recently as today. Today is November 13th. Last night, basically, they had a maintenance on the servers. They took them down for a couple hours last night to go ahead and just basically temporarily fix some things, fix a number of dog tags, and this is, again, console specific. So this is some of the stuff listed on the Battlefield forums for a console server update, is that they temporarily disabled the indirect fire and perimeter defense field upgrades on the PlayStation 3 as they were causing the game to crash when spawning. It's just a temporary workaround while they work on a permanent solution. They've also fixed a number of dog tags that weren't showing up, and they were showing up as blank in the game. They also lowered the damage caused by the mobile anti-air active radar missiles to the aircraft. So that mobile AA tank that has the that active radar system, and I know because I had it unlocked and I've used it before, just would do a tremendous amount of damage to vehicles, and really in one pass a vehicle could get taken out with those things. So the previous damage it said was incorrectly set too high. So they've already changed something in the game and kind of tweaked something in the game that was reported as being a little too overpowered, and we know that's what DICE does. The game we're playing now, if Battlefield 3 is any indication, the game we're playing now is going to be different than the game we played previously.
Yeah.
They've also improved server crash reporting and performance tracking on all platforms, which should further help them to identify and fix the crashes going forward. And they did some basic maintenance on their servers to fix some of the crashes they have. We also have news here that there's an upcoming console client patches that they're going to do, which is going to be a patch that when we log into Xbox Live, we can turn on Battlefield 4, we'll get a patch to go ahead and fix some of the issues that they're working on. No details as of yet, but keep posted here to this channel because they will post those eventually. So that's just some of the information. What do you think, Fury, about DICE and just the launch in general and some of the problems they've had? What are your thoughts on that?
DICE made an incredible game, but you can see it's been definitely aged for consoles. Unfortunately, it's not really meant to be on consoles, but they can make it work. They have made it work so far. The things that I've noticed is that non-issue wise is that the map sizes are really good instead of BF3 where they were just huge. It didn't matter what mode you played, but now it's they're nicely fit. They make it to where everyone will see each other unless you're sniping, and they made it to where even vehicles won't even have that issue anymore, where they ended up spawning and you'd get in and get destroyed or sniped out of it. They made it to where jets are in the air when you spawn into them, like in Air Supremacy on BF3, so that's a plus. But the downside is the crashes. It's a big thing that I've noticed. I think everyone's noticed, even on PC, that they don't even like. Not even just for consoles. And then a couple other things is that, man, I tell you what, some of the stuff they have with these lock-ons and everything else, and I've noticed that it's really, really hard to fly in the air with all these anti-air. So.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, and that kind of leads us into some of the stuff I was going to talk about what maybe tweaks that we feel they might need to make, and also what I've seen on the community. I kind of go onto the Battlefield forums and check them out a couple times a day to see what the thoughts are on the community. And one of the things I was going to mention is the countermeasures for your air vehicles just don't seem to work. I don't know if it's that they actually counter incoming rockets or incoming missiles well enough, or it's that the delay time on them is so long that needs to be reduced. I'm sure the DICE guys are aware of it, constantly working on it. They're constantly updating and adjusting their game to fit what the community wants and to kind of fit a better balanced play style. And I have to agree with you. It's funny because I was watching a couple YouTubers that are very famous on the PC side do a video, and they're doing their a helicopter run, and they're talking about how conservative they had to play the helicopter gameplay just because of that very thing you were mentioning, that you're just getting constantly bombarded with missiles and from Stingers and Iglas, and on these conquest maps, I'd say 80% of the players usually run as an engineer, sometimes even more. And so you're going to get that, but DICE has always done a good job of balancing the gameplay to where that doesn't become such an issue, and you can actually do some aggressive attack runs with a helicopter. Right now, the way it is, you're right. I get into a helicopter, for example, on Gold Mud Railway. You'll go fly and go to a flag, and within seconds, I'm getting locked by several different things. You'll hit your ECM or your flares. That'll work for a couple seconds. Then you'll try to fly somewhere where you can maybe get low, hide, get out of the way. There's not much on that map, and so you end up dead within just a few minutes. It's rather frustrating, and I agree that is something I hope to see them change. Some of the other things that I've noticed in the game, I agree with you on the maps. I think the maps they've done in this game on the console side are great. Now again, guys, we're playing on Xbox 360, So it's going to be similar to what you also see on the PS3. Now, when the new consoles are released, the Xbox One and the PS4, that's going to be even better. I mean, we know that you're going to get the PC version on the console, which we're really looking forward to. So when we pick up our Xbox One somewhere here in the near future, we're going to go ahead and hop on those and get onto those. We can't wait. But in the meantime, what we have on the 360, yeah, it is definitely, you're right. This game is definitely a high-end PC game that they really have to dumb down to fit on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. And they make it work. They make it a fun game. You're right about that. And they do so by shortening the maps. Whereas in some games, in Battlefield 3, you're right. I felt like I would run forever and not see anybody because you have 24 players in a game on this big map. And it just, it seemed desolate. And there's times, even on, for example, Golmud Railway, which is the biggest map currently, that we have here in the 360 version, it seems like there's an enemy around, or there's a tank nearby, or there's something going on nearby to where it doesn't feel so desolate as compared to what it maybe felt in Battlefield 3. So I think I agree with you there. Some of the other stuff, maybe that I was thinking about needing to be tweaked, the launchers, maybe needing to be tweaked because of the air vehicle countermeasures. That kind of goes hand in hand. One key thing I'd like to point out, and this is coming from me specifically, I'm a smoke grenade fan. I've always liked being able, if there's a pesky sniper who's in that building and he's sniping on us in our squad, I love being able to, shoot a couple smoke grenades at him and get a cloud, disrupt his vision so we can move and then take him out. And the smoke grenades in this game are very weak. I've seen some forum posts on that as well about, hey, they don't really serve their purpose. A smoke grenade is supposed to create a nice cloud of smoke for you to then, get separation of line of sight between you and the enemy, causing you to run up on a game like a rush game mode, or you're being pinned down by a sniper. These smoke grenades become essential. And I was playing a game of Rush. Really, the only thing I was able to do to get a smoke grenade, I had to get the XM25, the thing, does the airburst grenades. I got the smoke version of that as support, laid down an ammo pack, and just started shooting smoke into an area to try and allow my team to move up. And we were able to do it. However, it really, because it's not dense enough, it doesn't last long enough. I think it's something DICE needs to tweak to make it useful and purposeful, because right now in like Conquest game modes you don't see anybody using it, and in fact I even played a few Rush games and I didn't really see anybody but myself using them there. So if they're going to give it to us, let us use it to do what it's supposed to do, not even be able to have it as a handheld grenade. I mean, it's really worthless at this point, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, it is right now. But they do have to tweak certain things, so let's hope they do.
Yeah, and they're usually really good at doing that and getting these tweaks and listening to the community. That's one thing I was very impressed by with Battlefield 3 is how well DICE listened to the community and made the tweaks in the name of balance. And they tweak certain things and then realize it didn't work, and then later on tweak it back and dial it back a little bit. They do a great job at that. So I have all faith in DICE that they'll do a good job with it. Now, one other thing I wanted to talk about here, a bit of news. It's that earlier this week, some trophies and achievement lists for the China Rising DLC was leaked, which leads us to believe maybe we're going to have some new weapons and possibly returning vehicles here. So let me go and read this here. This is courtesy of pixelenemy.com. It's where I found this article. But basically, they got some of the trophies here listed. Now, this can't be confirmed either way. Again, it's just a leak right now. If these are in the final product, great. If not, oh well, But what it says here is we got a couple things, like one of the trophies is for playing a round of air superiority. Another one is getting a kill with a dirt bike. So we know the air superiority game mode and getting a kill with a dirt bikes are possibly back now in the game as well. They also show that get a kill with a bomber. So possibly, is that going to be some AC-130 type of deal? Is it an actual bomber we get into, a new jet we can type of fly? What's that about? As well as get a kill an enemy with the SUAV, which an SUAV I know was in one of the Medal of Honor games, where you can actually throw it up in the air. It's like just throwable UAV. Wonder if this one is going to act like a drone, where you can actually shoot some sort of armaments from it, which would be great. So that has been leaked. What do you think here? Because I know you are a big pilot like myself. You love to get in those jets and fly around. Air superiority was a very popular mode in Battlefield 3. What do you think if that rumor is true?
I'll definitely be excited for it, I'll tell you that much. The jets so far in this game, they are a little bit different than Battlefield 3, but that's not a bad thing. That can be good for both sides, for people that had troubles in Battlefield 3, being trying to get in the jet and trying to get some score in there, and it could be sometimes bad for the people that are veterans of the jet in Battlefield 3 and they just hate the new layout for it. But I mean, I don't know, I've been liking it so far, so it'll be definitely a nice interaction with the game if they keep it and going. And then speaking of something that you're talking about, Medal of Honor, going into this, is one thing that I like that they brought back is the little sensor ball. I can't remember what it's called exactly.
The motion sensors.
Yeah, the motion sensors from Battlefield Bad Company. That's awesome, bringing that back. As soon as I noticed that I unlocked that, I literally just straight up, started using it, just throwing the good old sensor balls out there and
just throwing them everywhere, chucking them all over the field.
Exactly, and then just have fun with it. I was like, oh my gosh, they're back! That's so awesome.
Yeah, I think they did a great job with. I love how they also brought back the wire-guided rocket launcher, which is the SRAW, the SRAW, so the last rocket launcher you unlock as an engineer. That thing is a ton of fun. I love how not only is it wire-guided, much like a tow missile is, but you can use it if there's a laser-designated target. I like that ability. I think a lot of that stuff is just great. It makes the game more fun, more immersive, and it brings back a lot of the stuff that fans like from the previous games. And I agree with you completely on the jets. One thing on console that was always different about PC, you'd watch some of these YouTube videos and videos of guys playing jets on the PC, and those things would just maneuver so quick and turn and do loops and Immelmans and just banks and rolls and things so fast and so quick. And here in Battlefield 3 on the console side, it just felt like, they were just like big slow-moving trucks compared to these Corvettes that the guys were riding in the PC and flying in the PC. Now we got kind of more of that on the console side here. I'm not going to sit there and say they're as good as what you get on the PC, because I know for a fact they're probably not. But just the fact that they're now more nimble and more maneuverable and turn faster and do things like that just make them more fun to fly. And from a guy that loves to get into a jet and fly it around, I think they're much better than what we've had in the past. And I do think it's great that you start flying them in the air. They're not sitting there on the runway for you to get spawn camped in or spawn killed in, or have it stolen for that matter by an enemy. I would like to see more jet gameplay in the game. I thought Battlefield 3 was really fun, even when we had just the vanilla maps before air superiority, where we would get into dogfights and you'd have two jets in the air working together. You and I used to get into the jets together, and hey Fury, you got a guy in your 6, let me come in and try and get him. Okay, he's pulling off you, and you'd turn around and we'd fly and both take him out. And that is missing from the current gameplay, at least in Battlefield 4 for the consoles, because we only get one jet on the maps that actually have one jet per side. So I'd like to see something like that, and it's good to see that air superiority might be coming back. If it is, sooner than later. I thought they just released it so late in the Battlefield 3's gameplay. I'd like to see those modes, air superiority, capture the flag, come sooner than later in this game's life cycle. So I think it's all good news all the way around.
Speaking of that, real quick, something I noticed, what is with the deal with some of these jets spawning in some of these maps, like Dawnbreaker, Dawnbreaker on Conquest? There's no need for a jet.
Yeah.
There's just too many buildings. And the maps, like I said earlier, is the maps are smaller for the consoles because that's what they needed to improve on, was making them a little bit smaller. But at the same time, why throw a jet in that one? Because I can tell you what, man, I just get in there and I'm like, yeah, jet. Oh, there's a building. And then I'm like, oh, look, let's get in a dogfight with this guy. Yeah, I'm taking a turn. Slam. Building. It's like, okay, not so much on this one.
Well, and not only that on that map, just the area you have to fly in above the buildings, and let's say the whole perimeter of the map is just so tight in that area that you don't have much room to maneuver with the jets on the consoles. Again, I'm not sure if it's different on PC, but on the consoles, you just don't have any room to maneuver. It's just, I almost, like you said, I just don't even bother getting in the jet half the time, because it's an attack jet as well. It'd be great, or it's a stealth jet. It'd be great if it was an attack jet, where maybe you can drop a laser-guided bomb, down onto a tank somewhere in between the buildings or something. You can't even really do that. Really, it's only there to take out enemy jet or helicopter, which is usually flying in and around the buildings anyway, and you're not going to take the jet in there in the first place. And then to throw that to make it even worse, they got an AA tank in that map that, you know, if you get to the outside, it's going to take you out. Yeah, so it's just, I agree on that map. And when I'm looking just to get into maps that have flying vehicles and I do my server browser, I'm not doing that map. I'm not even searching for that map because I don't play that map as a jet pilot, and considering it's one of the few maps we actually have jets in, it's kind of sad that, you know, it's kind of just, well, it's lost because they don't have enough of a flyable area, and the area they do have is so compact with those buildings in there, you can do a kind of a run through, but good luck getting any kills on anything. So, yeah. I completely agree with you. But again, hopefully that's something that'll be tweaked, that they'll adjust later on as the game goes on. And hopefully something that when we do switch over to the, you know, Xbox One and those consoles, we won't have to worry about because we'll be getting more of the full-fledged PC-style gameplay. So I agree with you there on that. So what are some of the things we said that we liked about the game? We talked about, I love, for example, the weapon attachments. I think it's great how these weapon attachments really affect the gun. When you first get a gun and there's nothing on it, that thing's tough to control. It kicks around, it moves, it doesn't nearly, you know, the recoil is huge on it. And then you get some of those attachments, you start equipping them, and you can really feel the difference in the way the gun is. I think that's a great thing they've done, that DICE has done, to make the guns customizable, and that, you know, you put a muzzle brake on there compared to a silencer, it has a real different effect either way. Also, the battle packs, I think they're cool. I like them. Those of you, I just want to know, I've heard some podcasts out there that have been giving misinformation about the battle packs. I don't want you guys listening to some of that stuff. Here we'll give you what we know is the truth. If we don't get it right, the next week we'll correct it, trust me. So what I know about the battle packs is that, you know, I had some guys saying you have to buy them to level up or you have to buy them to get guns. No, it's just extra stuff for your guns, extra scopes, extra, you know, you got paints and different skins for your vehicles and weapons, XP boosts, dog tags, different knives, but it's nothing really that you can't unlock in the game normally. For example, you can get a potato grip for your gun, but the potato grip does the same thing as the stubby grip does, and the stubby grip you can unlock by getting a certain amount of kills. So let's just clear the air right there. If you have heard misinformation that you have to buy these battle packs to do this or that, that's incorrect. They might offer up battle packs to be bought at some point. The only thing right now I know is that if you buy, you know, certainly marked packages of Slim Jim, you'll get battle codes for that. But you don't even need those. Which is limited. Yeah, which is limited, and you don't even really need those. I've gotten plenty of battle packs. Once you hit like level 50, you get a gold battle pack every level. So you're going to be getting plenty of battle packs, unlocking this stuff. You don't have to buy them. Don't worry about it. I think it's cool. It's like opening a gift. What am I going to get in this one? I'm looking forward to getting some of the different knives. I want to get that carbon fiber knife. I want to get that scout knife. You know, I haven't got any of those yet. I'm looking forward to unlocking those. It's just something cool that is kind of, you know, instead of just getting your normal XP and your normal unlocks by getting kills, you actually can get some cool stuff. And one of the things it does is when you unlock a weapon, then all of a sudden you look and wait a second, I have all this stuff already unlocked for it. I unlocked the UMP9 by doing an engineer assignment, and I had a potato grip unlocked and the night vision scope unlocked, and all these different unlocks for it already off the bat that I can equip to it. So my gun's not naked when I first unlock it. That's one of the cool things about the battle packs that you didn't have in other Battlefield games. So any thoughts on those? What do you think about the battle packs and some of those features they've added?
Oh, I definitely like them. The thing that we mentioned before is the Slim Jim ones, the promotional ones.
You bought some of those, right?
Yeah, I did. Which, you know, I don't eat Slim Jims. They're way too greasy for me. My kids enjoyed them. Sure. Yes, I did pawn them off my kids. But the thing that I didn't like is I get in there and I'm like, oh right, cool. I built up this many points. I had to buy this many Slim Jims, and there's a choice of gold, silver, or bronze, and then there's a choice of also getting XP boost. And I'm like, oh, well, of course I'm going to save up and get the gold, and then do it again. So I saved up, so I had a chance to get 2 golds. So I thought. And I end up, you know, getting in there, and I click on it, and it's a one-time deal. And I'm like, oh, one time, okay. And I'm like, well, so I have these extra points. I guess I might as well get the silver and the bronze. And I'm guessing that that's just because of the fact that these promotional packs are actually special ones, and the gold one has the same. So no matter who gets them, you're gonna get the same thing that I got. So RyeRye, you're gonna get the same thing if you go through the Slim Jim promotion. You'll get those, and they'll be exactly the same thing that I got. And then that's long even with Axe. Axe is also a one-time deal. So I'm guessing all these promotional ones that they say you can get these battle packs, it's just a one-time promotional deal, and after that you're done. There's no point of doing it because why buy points if you can't use them?
Is it stuff you can only get if you get in those, or like for example, can you only get those certain things from doing the Slim Jim promotion and getting the battle packs there, or is it something that I may already have or have unlocked or could possibly unlock in a battle pack just normally in the game?
Well, I know there's dog tags, so I'm actually going to look at them right now and see if they're special to
because I know they've done those promotional dog tags in the past before, and so that would make sense if I get something in those packs that I can't get normally in the game, I could see where that would work out. Maybe I'll go buy a couple Slim Jims just to get it. I'm kind of a completionist where I like to get all that different stuff, and I know the Dr. Pepper promotion they have for Battlefield 3, I had that special Dr. Pepper camo, and that was a cool camo, and I was one of the only guys I knew that had it for the longest time until they released it later on in a pack that you could purchase with Microsoft points. I was happy to have that, so it'd be neat to know and to see that if it's stuff like that. And I guess we can find out while you're looking at that and finding out about that. I did want to mention something we haven't talked about yet, but that I want to get into, and it's kind of the thing we'll leave everybody on with this thought, is the Levolution. I love Levolution. I love Destruction. Bad Company 2 was one of my most played favorite games on the 360 because of the Levolution, because I love just destroying and taking out buildings. Even if I didn't know even if there was no enemy there, I'd destroy the building anyway, just because it was cool to look at and it was fun, and it's one of the reasons why I like playing multiplayer shooters and playing Battlefield. Now, these Levolution events they have in this game are epic. They're awesome. So I just wanted to maybe ask you what some of your favorites were. I'll go over what some of my favorites were and what I'm really impressed by, and my thoughts on the Levolution, and kind of what your thoughts on it are as well.
Yeah, I did actually look up the dog tags real quick here, and so the only ones that I'm seeing is the Axe one, which was one battle pack also, so you don't buy multiple ones of the packs, and they have to be bought at Walmart, and they're the special ones that are for like the shower pack ones or whatever, and they give you 3 dog tags, which there's the first one, second, and third one. The third one actually looks pretty cool. It's a robot, it's the same Zap, that's kind of funny, and then there's Chop Chop with the axe, and then there's some feathers falling.
So it's basically some axe-based dog tags you get in the axe pack, but as far as we know right now, we'll try and follow up with the viewers here, but as far as we know right now, the battle packs for Slim Jim, we don't see anything different in those that you can't already get in the game.
I'm not seeing anything different. I don't remember getting dog tags in there, so it could be just special items.
Sure.
That would be something I'd have to research too. But I know that some areas haven't even got the Slim Jims yet either, and it's actually been hard for me to find them. And I actually live in the state where Slim Jim is owned, and they make So of course I was able to find some a little quicker than other people would, but. Going into one other thing real quick about Dawnbreaker, going back there really quick.
Sure.
How we're talking about the helicopters. I know I've mentioned this before to our group and everything that we play with, but is it me, or does it seriously feel like when you get in the helicopter, you're expecting to turn the corner and see Godzilla? Am I wrong in saying that? Because when I'm flying through the buildings and I turn a corner, I'm like, Godzilla? No Godzilla, keep going. I just think that's pretty funny. Just that, it just makes me feel like I'm in the Godzilla movie, one of the last ones they made.
I'm usually more worried about getting Iglet or Stinger from, a couple engineers that are sitting at the top of those buildings rather than worrying about Godzilla or anything like that. But yeah, I do see how you can, it looks like, kind of a map like that, and where Godzilla's going to come out of the water over there and start, crushing buildings with his huge giant feet. So.
Yeah,
I see that.
It would be funny too, because they do like the dinosaurs. I mean, not Godzilla's not really a dinosaur, but That'd be kind of funny. Just have a weird Easter egg.
Sure. Well, so let's go. Let's kind of wrap things up here. What do you think? Going back to the Levolution, some of your favorite Levolution moments and what you were kind of impressed by.
My number one, and it's just like my all-time favorite, is definitely Siege of Shanghai. Mm-hmm. The building, and the reason why is how much detail they put into it when it comes down. Just the view and the beauty of it, even though it's a building falling down, which, living in the United States, that kind of it can be touchy on certain subjects. But just seeing it, it's just so powerful and so just awestrucking that I get chills every time I watch that just fall down. And it's just like, man, that's probably one of the best ones I've seen. Now, going from beta to actual game, they did change it how many times you had to hit the pillars, mm-hmm. which is good because it doesn't come down so quickly, but it also makes you waste a lot of rounds, explosive rounds, unless you're in a tank. And then yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. Probably my least favorite ones would probably be the dam that we were playing the other night.
Lun King Dam.
There, yes, that one. I have seen it go down quicker. I don't know what was going on that night when we were playing, but it's just like you expect the water to come down, like the flood level.
Yeah, flood zone.
Yeah, you'd expect it to be something like that, where it's just, it comes down and there's tons of water coming down and rushing and making even the waterway that's down below, that goes into the lake there, make it to where it starts rushing more and there's water in there, so if you jump in there, you're going to be put right into the lake. That would have been cool, to where they did that, but it just kind of falls and you're like, yeah. And the only thing that really comes down, it really just blocks that upper pathway, and you get a couple boulders that will fly down towards the water side of the map, and if you're in the path of those, it will take you out. But I agree, is uninspiring, and considering the amount of damage you have to do, we were sitting there trying to get it done that just the other night, and it took forever for us to go ahead and finally destroy that thing and get it to come down. It's just kind of disappointing that all these Levolution moments that happen in this game really change the map, or change what you can do on the map, or change how the map is played, except for that one, because at least on the console side, that path that you take that gets covered by the boulders really isn't used at all. It's kind of away from the flags. It's pretty far away from anything. I've used it to get, around and flank around the enemy with like an LAV. But other than that, it's really just, it kind of, it looks cool for a minute, but then like you said, the water rushes out. It's kind of uninspiring. So I'd agree with you. That's probably my least favorite. One of my favorites, because you mentioned Siege of Shanghai, which is, again, I think it's epic. I think almost all these are very epic and inspiring, and just I can't wait to see what they do now with the DLC maps, how those break down. I just think it's great how they work and how they change the map and watching it happen. One of my favorites was actually Paracel Storm. Actually today, because I've taken that windmill down when the storm comes in and then seen the destroyer come in and flown by it. Today I was actually playing a game on that, and I'm on the C flag, I'm on the Charlie flag, which is on console, that's where the destroyer comes in and runs ashore. And I'm on that flag, and I look up, and I'm right by that building, and I see that destroyer coming in. I didn't realize that it had broken loose, and it was already coming in, and I then start to make a mad dash to get out of the way, just so I can, not get crushed by the thing. And when you're on the ground and you're right there, and it's, literally, 25 yards from you, you hear the sounds of it, and the sounds of it coming ashore, and the creaking and the cracking, and then destroying that building, and then all of a sudden there's this huge ship there. It was really just kind of a wow, that is freaking epic moment that you have in this game that you really don't see in any other game. I love the Levolution. I love these moments when they do them. I can watch them time and time again and still think they're cool. I can watch that building come down in Siege of Shanghai and still think they're cool. And it's funny because a lot of the guys we play with haven't seen all of them. We were playing on Hanan Resort with the hotel today, and I just decided, you know what, I don't see enough people that do the Levolution in this, so I got my C4 out. I was a support player. I had C4 unlocked. I started throwing it around the building just to take down the sides of that hotel. And one of the guys I was playing with said, "You could do that?"
And I said, he's like, what happened? You could do that? I said, yeah, that's the Levolution on this map. So there are still people out there that we even play with that haven't seen those moments yet. So I love hearing their reactions and seeing it. I think it's great. I think DICE did a great job with it. And I keep them coming, DICE, because the more Levolution type of stuff we have, the better, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, the one thing I did see in it was the Xbox One competition, U.S. versus Europe.
Yeah.
Or, wow, Europe versus America. Sorry. But they actually showed a second assault. And one of the maps they played on just so happened to be Caspian border. They're bringing that back. That's going to be awesome.
There's a big wall running in the middle of it now, I saw, and some of those things.
And then the Levolution on that one, they actually moved the tower. And the tower, or the, as some people called it, the candy cane, has actually been moved over to where I believe it was B, or no, I think it was C.
Yeah, it was one of the flags. And they were playing on the Xbox One version, so yeah.
Yep, they were on the Xbox One, 64 players, plus 2 commanders, plus also the 2 spectators. They were there, and the Levolution of that is actually breaking. The tower falls whenever you want it to fall, and it ends up literally destroying part of that wall. That there's only certain areas you can get through that wall, and it makes it to where you can, you know, start running through there and start using that area even more. And during this gameplay, like even the Comcasters on there were even saying, or Gamecasters, whatever they're called. They were saying, you know, this is an epic moment right now, and now look, the game's even changed even more for the American side. They're just completely dominating now because they now have access to that one spot that was now, or was blocked and now open. I'm like, that's sweet.
Yeah.
And seeing 64 players, it's going to be awesome. Xbox One, PS4, the next-gen consoles, they're definitely going to be up there in specs with PC finally. And I can't wait, man. It's literally, we're 2 days away for PS4, and then a week away, or a week and a couple days for Xbox One. And I know I got mine reserved. I'm gonna pick up my Xbox One.
Yeah.
And got some other guys are gonna be picking it up, and we'll definitely do some videos. But I know there's other things there. Some of our guys that we play with normally weren't able to.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty epic. I look forward to this coming console generation. Like I said, we're big console gamers. That's not to say anything bad about the PC. I think PC gaming is excellent. Some of the best games available are on PC. Battlefield 4 is a PC game. It looks fantastic on the PC. But you know, for guys like us, it's nice to see that DICE is now bringing that experience to a console, and really it's because they have consoles they can finally run it on, whereas before they really didn't have that. So it's nice to see that. That's going to be all for today's show, guys. We appreciate you paying attention to us here and liking our little watching our little podcast video cast here. Please be sure to go ahead and like and subscribe to both my channel. Again, it's RyeRye Gaming, and to NightFury's channel. We'll go ahead and please, if you'd like to help us name the show, name this program here, go ahead and leave it comments on our pages here. We're going to be posting this on both his channel and my channel, and we'll have all that in the descriptions. So until next time, this is RyeRye. You want to go ahead and sign us off here, Fury?
Yep, NightFury25 signing off with RyeRye. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to sub and like the video. Thanks. We'll see you next time.